So today we're going to be taking a look at a scenario where Spain goes into Adizzpro WICSO. Now Spain, obviously from the modern day, is going to, randomly appear in Adizzpro WICSO. Now this is going to do a good amount of bad stuff. This completely kind of just makes the Dark Sign team and the Iberian team, aka Andalusia and Galicia, makes them stuck in Portugal, and they're now pretty weak, I would say. The purple team slash Rome no longer has its capabilities over Catalonia, and France does also not have some land right here that they had before in the Basque region, kind of, and I guess just Western Catalonia. But Spain, they are now a country, and they're probably one of the most powerful in Europe now. And they're gonna go on some conquests. They start with their invasion of the Dark Sign country, soon taking all of the coastline of the country. Eventually, this country is fully captured under the red team, I guess just the Spanish, and of course in the peace treaty. I just realized this. I don't think I really need to use borders. There we go, much better. Anyways, Spain now has some important land in the south over here in Portugal, and I guess their quest is to I guess, take all of the Iberian Peninsula. And that will be achieved as the what is going on? What is that? What is that? So the red team starts invading into I keep saying the red team. Spain starts invading into Iberia, and Iberia just died. It's not even Iberia anymore. It's just I guess North Portugal. And North Portugal is accepted into the it's fully annexed into the Spanish Empire. And now Spain is just they're just kind of chilling now. So they don't really have a specific goal now. They can go after the purple team, and it would be a very honestly, I'm not sure how that matchup would be. I think these are two evenly strong countries, or they can go after France, and France is a little weaker than the Spanish. I guess they can also go after West Africa, but that's just not a good idea. So how about this? How about Spain goes down into Africa and starts doing some colonization stuff? Spain's gonna start their invasion of Equatorial Guinea slash Gabon and start taking a large amount of land. Now, what does the world think of this? Well, they're kind of interested, and they're like, colonization again. But the Spanish are the theme of this episode, so we don't care about those pesky Europeans. And I'm not talking about that like in in real life way. I'm saying only WICSO. Like these guys, they didn't colonize. These guys did a little bit. These guys did. These guys did. These guys did. And the others are dead. But then they make it their goal to take all of the coastline of Gabon, which is very achievable. You can see that Gabon is cut off from its Nigerian portion over here, and that is fully taken. I guess you can also call that the Cameroon area. With that, Gabon is going to go ahead and surrender. Let's take a look at this peace treaty. Yeah, in this peace treaty, which actually does follow province borders, they will take all of this land and, oh, I'm on the wrong thing. They'll take all of that land, which is good for them, as they get a lot of, I guess, cool African areas. Now, remember, Spain used to own Equatorial Guinea in like, real life, like in World War II. Symbol of Africa, they took Equatorial Guinea, and that's actually the only Spanish-speaking country in Africa, at least major. Could talk about how much I hate this country and how it looks. I mean, I guess I also don't like this country and how it looks, or this country. Like, these three are just not good. Also, this is the Czech Republic. Also, I don't know if I said this yet, but we are not including alliances. We're not including alliances. We're not including the AON. So that's just something to note. But from here in this African area, they are going to invest a lot into it and start pumping infrastructure. They start improving cities and improving the crime, I guess lowering the crime rate, improving the economy, doing all that stuff. And this actually gives them a pretty good reputation, although this is just like a disguise for these countries to, uh, well, think that they're not gonna invade, even though that these guys, they just invaded them. Now, the Spanish are probably going to deny that and say, we did that because we wanted them to be better, even though you could just, I guess, influence them to do that. Then again, I shouldn't get into that. I was gonna cite some real world politics, but I'm not gonna do that. But the purple team and the French are not buying that, and for like the first time in history, maybe the purple team and the French are gonna work together. They're gonna create an alliance, a coalition of sorts, with themselves and Nigeria to stop the Spanish from expanding even more. And this pact, it's not an alliance actually; it's more of a coalition. So they are actually at war with the Spanish, and the Spanish do not expect this at all. So let's go ahead and start over here in Africa, and let's go ahead and see what happens. So obviously they weren't expecting this, so obviously that's gonna happen. The capital of Equatorial Guinea is taken, and from here they start taking a lot more land on this coastline. They start moving down and look like they're gonna encircle this area. Of course, the Spanish are not expecting this, but of course they're not expecting this threat up here. They had better border security up here, but it still wasn't really enough to stop the coalition guys from coming in. Coalition guy, that's an interesting word, or a phrase, I guess. But yeah, the purple team also starts coming in through Catalonia and starts to take some of their land back. And they also take the Balearic Islands, which are a strategic base for the Spanish to stay at. Now, surprisingly, the Greeks are going to condemn the purple team for invading the Spanish, even though the Spanish just invaded two countries and then a country down south in Africa. And the Greeks, remember, they did not like colonialism, but so this might be a little hypocritical of them. But yeah, they are condemning the purple team for doing this. You know who's also condemning the purple team for doing this? The Dutch. And the French obviously try to get onto the side of the Dutch in like every single thing possible. That's just kind of the nature of the French. And yes, of course, that's the wrong color. They're gonna still be able to push in, but at a certain point they're like, did we make a mistake? Because someone up here is not liking what we're doing. And that someone is now invading you, so that's probably not too good. The Dutch start their invasion of the southern French, or just, I guess, the regular French, because I was thinking of my WICSO for a second. And they take about, like, maybe half the country. I think if we do that, then that's definitely half the country. And, well, that's not good. So they're gonna retreat some forces over here. Actually, they're gonna give that all to the purple team in order for them to fight over here, which the purple team helps them do. And they take back a good amount of land, cutting a piece of the Dutch military off. Now from here, they do wipe this part out. However, this part just comes steamrolling back in and gets to this river again. However, it is stopped about halfway through and is no longer able to advance. The Dutch also make a push through near Switzerland and Austria, connecting this front line up and redoing this. Purple team will continue to push down into Spain until they get their head out of the sand and start reinvading up through Catalonia. Back over here, the Nigerians are unable to do this encirclement, however, they take a good portion of this land. So, now this is just looking stupid. But that's because, and the reason why they were kind of not doing good up here is because they were really focused on Nigeria. So they made a landing in this part, which completely, like, decimated the Nigerians. They were not expecting this. It takes pretty much all their coastline. So they're gonna retreat. Oh, it just cut to the chase. So they're gonna retreat out of the red team, and from here, Spain is just gonna invade even more. So that was not a good idea. And I guess Paint.net just wanted me to do this faster because it automatically did. Anyways, going back up here, we see that stuff is not getting better. Well, it's kind of going both sides really. As obviously the Dutch are not as powerful as they once were, and the French are able to push them back a good amount, as well as the purple team, who manages to kick them completely out. And here the Dutch employ a strategic ally. Something that I wouldn't say, but the Greeks, they come in. They come in on the side of the red and the Dutch. Like I said, a little hypocritical because, you know, they don't like colonialism and they also don't like the wars, but they will start their army up and start invading to the Yugoslav area, which this is a very historical part of the Purple Team. This has been part of the Purple Team since like day one really. And well, it's changed between hands, but it's back under the Purple Team now. Well, actually no, I'm wrong. It's under the Greeks now. And with this, Purple Team was not expecting this at all. They were just completely just like flabbergasted. I think that's the first time I've ever used that word, but probably not. Anyways, with this distraction, they're gonna retreat out of the Balearic Islands and all of these areas. And the Dutch and the Spaniards managed to do something that's pretty genius. The French are like they're war torn. They've been through hell and back, pretty much this whole war. And well, yeah, they just get completely split because the purple team isn't there to do anything for them. So they get completely split between these two countries. And well, that's when everything just kind of comes rolling down on them. As the Dutch now push in, of course, from this front line. I don't care that there's mountains. And yeah, like I said, the Spanish also push in and capture the areas around Monaco. And yes, invasions start to, that's the wrong color. Invasions start to ensure all across Rome until Rome is sick and tired of war, as they've been, this is not when, what? It's not been going good for them. And when the Purple Team troops get here, they're like, they're completely devastated. They're war torn. The resources are like they're being undersupplied by the military and by the government, and with that, it becomes kind of revolt, a revolution. And with that, there's not much of your country left, really. And that means your capital's taken and your country is dead. Let's go ahead and take a look at the peace treaty. So the red team will get all of this. I forgot to say they also get this part of France. Obviously, this part of France is all annexed by the Dutch, making them control France, I think, fully for the first time in think forever, to be honest. I don't remember a time when they never, or when they fully controlled France. And the Dutch get all of that, making them have a very interesting looking empire now. I'm not sure how I feel about that. The Spanish are also given these islands as well as Sicily, and they are now known as the Mediterranean Pact, or Power. Greece doesn't take anything, and the Purple Sea? Oh, that's not good. So the Italian Union is back. Yugoslavia is back. This Austrian country, it's a little looks a little weird now, but it's back. And this little piece of land, well, it's back to that one country that was like it was the blue team. And well, the rest of this is it's gonna go ahead and go to the Italian Union. Yeah, that's right. The Italian Union is back, and maybe they have good relations with Spain. Maybe they can form like a three-way pact or something. Oh yeah, and I forgot to say this, but Nigeria is fully annexed. And that gives them a really nice little like African colonial empire in the coast right here. I don't remember what this is called, this little like body of water, but it's fine. Of course, that's gonna do it for today's video. Hope you guys enjoyed. I would have made them go into North Africa, but that would be a very long and brutal war, and I don't think that would be very nice and fun to and pleasing to watch. But definitely was pleasing to see these guys die. Just kidding. It's just a fictional country. It's not that serious. Anyway, see you guys in the next video. Hope you guys enjoyed. Goodbye.